Cowboys fans, let's talk about last night, man. It's your boy Ruben. I'm going to go ahead and give you just what I think I saw last night from the Cowboys-Rams game. Now, full disclosure, I think the Cowboys, I did a video and I think the Cowboys are going to win this division. I'm not moving off of that. I think they, in my opinion, are the Super Bowl favorite. However, I have some concerns. So here they go. So yesterday, part of my concern yesterday, and it was opening weekend for the NFL. If you paid close attention, if you play fantasy football, you would have noticed this. It was unlike any week one we've ever seen. And I'm not saying that just because of the COVID-19 and lack of fans and yada, yada, yada. It was week one, and there were a lot of teams that had key players that didn't play, right? So Mike Evans played for the Bucks, but he almost didn't. Tonight, I think like guard Devin DeCastro is not playing for the Steelers. Kenny Galladay's hurt. Like there was a lot of games where it was like, man, you know what? There seems to be a lot of injuries week one, which sounds weird considering there was no preseason, right? So going into last night's game, while I fully expected the Cowboys to win, something that perked up my antenna was going into last night was La'el Collins isn't playing. Sean Lee's not playing. I believe they're both on injured reserve, so they're out for the next two games. We got Aaron Donald coming into town. Now, La'el Collins isn't the entire offensive line. I know what some people would say, but when you factor in that La'el Collins is out and Travis Frederick retired, I'm like, I'm down two really good linemen to go against Aaron Donald coming in. Well, not coming into town. We went to them. Now, I still fully expected to beat them because we have superior talent. But a few things happened. I didn't like what I saw yesterday from the Cowboys. I don't think Dak Prescott looked crisp. And it was something I was a little concerned with considering the offseason he was having. He just recently came out, said that, he suffered depression, his brother committed suicide, and isolation was a problem for him. And if you suffer from depression, let me first say I'm not trying to diss anybody with depression. I'm not dissing him at all, actually. I just don't want the words I'm saying to be misconstrued. My concern with Dak Prescott had nothing necessarily to do with the depression. It's just that his mind clearly wasn't on football, and factor in that he didn't get the contract he wanted, right? So the entire offseason was so anti-football that I felt like he didn't look crisp, and it affected him yesterday. That's fine. I expect better days from Dak. So what I didn't like, let's talk about what I didn't like. I thought Dak didn't look crisp. I thought that the defense, especially early, didn't look great. And I don't think it's all the defense's fault, which, you should be ready for it. But the Rams played what I like to consider a bit of a gimmicky kind of offensive game. And you could clearly tell they were worried about the pass rush or their O-line. You could clearly tell they were worried about the O-line because they did a whole lot of misdirection type plays, a lot of plays to keep the defense off, on their heels. So you saw a lot of misdirection, a lot of stretches, a lot of jet sweeps. I think Robert Woods ran the ball a couple times. They made a strong effort to stretch them out laterally, get them looking in one direction, hit them in the other direction. And it's cool. It worked, but it's not really a style of play that I think is sustainable. But it worked yesterday, at least early. And what I'm worried about in the fact that we happen to lose to the Rams, right, is we lost Leighton Vander Esch. So when I thought the Cowboys were a favorite to go to the Super Bowl, Vander Esch was a big part of my defense because I think he is a special linebacker. He was the guy that he only started like 11 games his rookie season and had 140 tackles. He was all over the place. Plays the pass well, stuffs the run well, and we lost him in the first half. We lost Blake Jarwin in the first half. We lost Gerald McCoy before the season even started. So I think as far as pass rush aspect goes, we'll be fine, which is what Gerald McCoy would have gave us. My concern was stopping the run laterally. Like it looked like we were ill-prepared in our run fits to stop the kind of run the Rams have, okay? Because the Rams were all over the place and they didn't know how to react to it until the second half. That's the bad news. Injuries, and then you saw they lost. It was a tough loss. It was a real tough loss. The reason it was because here's what pisses me off about yesterday's loss. Two things. That last pass interference call, and I know what a lot of people are going, well, they missed the call on Aldon Smith, blah, 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 blah. Right? What pisses me off is, at least with the Aldon Smith play, there was plenty of game to play. Right? So, yes, it was a missed call. I agree. But there's still time to play the game and dictate the course of the game. They called back a catch on an offensive pass interference with Michael Gallup having smoked Jalen Ramsey. And in a desperate attempt to stop Michael Gallup, he hooked, if you watch the play, he hooked Michael Gallup's arm, right? Because he knew he was burnt. So he hooked his arm, and when you do that, the only way you can get free is to push the guy kind of off. It's the hand fight, which is exactly what Michael Gallup did. And they called an offensive pass interference. Never mind that Jalen Ramsey had hooked Michael Gallup's arm. I don't know how they didn't call defensive pass interference. It cost them the game because they were immediately in field goal range to at least tie it. And then there was still time on the clock. For all we know, they could have won the game. So that was pretty upsetting. But the second thing that bothered me was, and the reason I thought we were, and I still think, it's week one, I'm not going to overreact, that we were a Super Bowl contender this year, was the change at coach. And with that change of coach, I expected better decision making. I can't for the life of me understand why on 3rd and long, they ran a draw. They ran a draw, which in hindsight, after watching it, I'm like, okay, they clearly expected to go for it on 4th down because you don't run a draw on 4th down. And then they ran out there immediately and ran another play. And they ran a play, a pick play for CeeDee Lamb. He got open, and this is part of where Dak not being crisp happened. Dak threw the ball. It was a little behind CeeDee Lamb, who hadn't gotten across the line, the line of the yard gain, and got tackled behind the line. 4th down, turnover on downs. It was a 3-point game. You take first off, you don't run a draw on 3rd down. You try to get the 1st down on 3rd down. And then you kick the field goal if you don't get it. It's a tie game. It's 4th quarter. Points are too valuable in the 4th quarter. It's a 3-point game in the 4th quarter, and you said, nah, we're going to go for it. And you end up losing by 3. Is infuriating. It's the kind of shit that Jason Garrett did when he was here. It was too reminiscent of Jason Garrett. Too reminiscent. I don't know if there was a bit of a, you know what, we got too many weapons to allow y'all to stop us. It was too much hubris. Now, again, if you're that confident, then do what you got to do on third down to get the first down. Not run a draw play. So that was frustrating. I'm not going to put too much stock in yesterday. I don't really necessarily know what to expect right now because Jarwin's out for the season. He tore his ACL. Leighton Vander Esch broke his collarbone. He's out till at least week 9 or 10, at least. Aldon Smith looked like a monster. On a side note, he looked like a monster. And they had him. I'm wondering if they had him standing up and rushing a lot. I'm wondering if he could play some linebacker because we are desperate at linebacker right now. No Jalen. I mean, we have Jalen Smith, but no Leighton Vander Esch, no Sean Lee is a problem that I'm concerned about early right now. I thought the corners played fine. They didn't play great, but they played fine. Trevon Diggs allowed a couple catches, but what I saw was just a young rookie corner. He looked fine. One catch, he got beat deep by Van Jefferson, which was another rookie, by the way, that I liked. A very good route runner. But it wasn't like he got smoked. He was there step for step. I thought this was going to be intercepted, but it was thrown perfectly by Jared Goff. Outside shoulder, only the receiver could have caught it. It literally had to be a perfect pass, or Trevon Diggs intercepts this ball. It's just one of those games. It was frustrating to watch. I expect big things for the Cowboys as they continue to gel. I hope Dak. I hope his mental health continues to improve. I'm not blaming yesterday on his mental health necessarily. Just that you gotta wonder how much life is affecting him because he didn't look his best yesterday. So that's all I'm saying. With that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts, concerns. You want me to break down your team? Hit me up in the comments. I do reply to all responses. Remember, Fan Smarter YouTube channel. Just click the link, go on there, like, subscribe, and you'll know when I'm posting videos. Follow me on Instagram, Hulk0219. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.